Here is a picture in front of you all. Can you see the difference? The world on the left hand seems to be quite familiar. There are trees, animals, birds, ducks, and of course, we humans. Now, as we move on the other side of the picture, it seems to be almost the same, but yes, you must have noticed there is a difference. There is something more to it. And what is that? These tiny living beings, which are not visible to us with our naked eyes. So, if you are curious enough to know more about them, then you are just at the right place, because we are going to start with chapter 2 of grade 8 NCERT book Curiosity, and that is the invisible living world beyond our naked eye. Means that world which is not visible to us with just our naked eye. We are going to know more about them in this chapter. So, what to stop? What is the wait? Let's get full speed ahead. Okay. Now, as said, our eyes have a limit. Now, what does this mean? The human eye can only see objects that are above a certain size. As we just saw in that picture, on the left hand side we could see everything, but on the right hand side there were few beings, there were few things maybe, or living beings, which we are going to understand them later, which were not visible to us. So there is a limit to our visibility of the eye. It can see only up to a certain extent. So, for a long time, this meant that countless tiny things around us remained unknown to us. We were not known about them. We didn't even know that there is something there are many living beings which exist around us, in air, in water, everywhere around us. In fact, even on our body, which we were not aware of. All right. So, what did we do? Now, in order to see these small things, minute things, what man did in olden days? What man did? They used to take a piece of glass. They used to fold it and then see, you know, the minute things with the help of that glass. So, long ago, people discovered that a curved piece of glass could make small things look bigger. This piece of glass was shaped like a lentil seed. Lentil, you know, dal, pulse, okay? Lentil seed. Now, how this lentil seed is? This lentil seed is thick from the center and thin from the edges. So, they used a piece of glass. It used to be a curved piece of glass, which used to be thicker from the center and thin from the edges. And in the name of lentil, it derived its name as, they called it lens. It is called a lens. Now, even we can understand it with the help of an activity, like how this lens works. What we can do? You can do it here only with me, maybe. Take a round flask filled with water and cover its mouth with a cork. Now keep this flask on an open page of a book like this, as shown in the picture. Now what do you notice? You see that there is a difference in the size of the letters which are kept away from the glass or which are visible through the glass. And this glass is filled with what? This glass is filled with water. Okay. So, you can see this effect for yourself. A round bottom flask filled with water, it is acting like a simple lens. Alright. And it is making the words look bigger then what the words outside the glass is, outside this jar is flask, you can see. Okay, so this is what? This is called the power of magnification, revealing details our eyes would otherwise miss. Our eyes would otherwise miss. So it shows those details which our only eye cannot reveal, cannot show. So you can try this activity on your own and see the difference. Another example, if we take of this lens, just have a look on this ant. On the left side, this ant is without a lens. You are just, looking at it with your naked eye. Now, when you use a magnifying lens onto the ant, can you see the difference in the size of the ant? You can see many minute details which we cannot find without the lens, or which we cannot see using just a naked eye. So this is the power of lens. So human being understood it and started working over it, tried working over it and started to improvise it to better and better. Now what happened after that? From a simple key to a powerful portal. So what happened? This was just a simple lens we were talking about. From the lens, it moved over to a magnifying glass. And again, it improvised itself into a microscope. So this equipment is called a microscope. And it is a very important equipment in today's world with which we can see many beings, many living things which we cannot see with our naked eye. And it is a very important, part of our recent research activities also. Now, if you look around everywhere around us, what do you see? There are trees, there are plants, there are animals, birds, flowers, all living beings. Yes? If you can see at this picture also, there is a tree, there is an insect, an animal, a bird. And in fact, of course, we humans also. So, this amazing variety of plants, animals, and even ourselves are all collectively called what? Are collectively called as organisms. And since we all are living, this is known as living organisms. So, if we come to an official, a definition of organism, what can we say? What is an organism? Any living being that can live and function independently is called an organism. So, we all are living organisms. Plants, trees, birds, animals, flowers, insects. Of course, we humans, we all are collectively called what? Organisms. And since we are living, we are called living organisms. Let's move further. Yeah. Revealing the microorganisms. Now, a new term for you. Now, what are microorganisms? So, as we understood, what are organisms? The living beings which function and live independently are called organisms. Now, if they become micro, now what are micro? Micro means minute, very small, very tiny. So they are called as microorganisms. Now, with the help of this microscope, we could finally see these tiny living beings that share our world, and we call them microorganisms. So this microscope, with the help of this microscope, we are able to see these microorganisms now. So what are microorganisms? If we define them, what are microorganisms? They are simply organisms that are too small to be seen without a microscope. So they cannot be seen with the naked eye. Most of them, they cannot be seen with the naked eye, and They need what? They need a microscope. This equipment called microscope to be seen. Okay. The inhabitants of the unseen world. What does that mean? Inhabitants means people or beings, I should say the living beings who are living on that area, in that area. So which area we are talking about? We are talking about the unseen world. So if I simplify it, what they are simply saying is that these microorganisms are of different types. They are of different varieties. Their world is incredibly diverse. It is full of variety. As we know, there are lots and lots of a variety of trees around us. There are a variety of plants around us, insects around us, birds around us, which we can see with our naked eye. Similarly, these microorganisms are also what? They are also diverse. And some of the most common types of microorganisms include bacteria. They are bacteria, viruses, and paramecium. They are a few of them. Okay, we are going to study about them more in detail later in this chapter. All right. So, what we can see? Hence, the two worlds are now understood to some extent. We are coming to an understanding like how the two worlds are connected. Let's look at this picture again. What it shows? The scene on the right is no longer a mystery. What we were thinking about, like what are these living beings, tiny living beings which we cannot see, but they also exist. They share this world with us. So the scene on the right is no longer a mystery. It's the world around us as seen through a microscope. So this is this world which can be seen with the help of a microscope. All right, a vibrant ecosystem of microorganisms always present, but just beyond the limits of our naked eye. What does this mean? That they always exist us. They are around us even right now, at present, everywhere they are with us. As I just now told you, they are with us everywhere, all around, but they can only be seen with the help of some equipments which we call them as a microscope. So you can see this is a bacteria in air, this is paramecium in water, and this is a fungus staying on a leaf. All right. So a new world raises some new questions. So if you are again curious enough to know more about what are these microorganisms, what are they made up of, and even organisms, what are organisms, we have understood, but what are they made up of? What are microorganisms? We have understood. What are they made up of? What is the significance of microorganisms? Are they helpful to us or harmful? So, in order to understand all this, let's move to the part 2 and part 3 of the same video, of the same lecture, where we shall be covering with all these questions. What are these tiny organisms made up of? What are the different types and how do they live? What is their significance in our daily lives? Are they helpful or harmful to us? So the answer to these questions awaits in the next chapter of our exploration. So till then, this is Dr. Nidhi signing off. Let's meet after a short break. Bye-bye.